Yeah, certainly. So I think I'd probably pick up on two things in closing. I think the first is actually when we think about the opportunity in terms of promoting women's soccer, women's football through the FIFA Men's World Cup. I think there's really good examples, I think, from other sports that we can borrow from. So I think if you look at the NBA and the WNBA, I think I sort of look at that as an example where you have actually those with a strong platform using it to increase the representation. In that case, it's the NBA stars using their platform to promote the WNBA. But I think there's examples we can borrow from. I think there's also examples probably from soccer elsewhere. I sort of see examples in European soccer where you have club teams where men's and women's teams play in the same stadium, and where you have sellout game. My own team is Arsenal. I'm a North London boy. Thanks. And there's something really powerful about, on a Wednesday, the men's team sells out 60,000 tickets, and on a Saturday, the women's team sells out 60,000 tickets. And guess what? As you see the replica jerseys, the men's team, I can remember I was there last year. First time I'd seen a Viv Miedema jersey. Sadly, she's now left and gone to Man United. But a really, really powerful symbolism of seeing I think it was like a sort of 6 or 7 year old boy wearing a Viv Miedema number 7 Arsenal jersey. So I think there are these examples that we can borrow about the kind of use of a platform for the promotion. I think that the other thing, maybe this is a sort of cautionary note from having worked on previous sort of big infrastructure projects and big sort of international events for the UK government in a previous life. I think there's the huge opportunity that you can solve a very, very long list of problems using the catalyst of a major sporting event. And the reality, if you try to solve everything, you kind of end up solving nothing. And it feels like we're at that critical point where we need to narrow the list. I think actually the things we talked about here probably are the sort of most pertinent things. But we're at the moment where you've got to narrow the list and really go in with a bit more kind of commitment on a smaller list of problems to solve, using this as the catalyst. That would be my sense.
Thank you, Tim. Shona?
Yeah, sure. Quite seized this week with the whole themes around the North American way, and I think the opportunity, as strong countries, as prosperous countries, as successful countries and with successful citizens, we often leave an awful lot on the table, on the North American table, the trilateral table. There's an awful lot more we could accomplish together and to do together. And I think if you look at the World Cup opportunity, we also should think about the great numbers of people, and I know there will be a lot in Canada, who aren't necessarily following football most of the time, right? This is perhaps going to be a one-off for a lot of spectators, and perhaps more in Canada where it hasn't had the tradition that it's had in other countries. And what do we want to leave those people with? So do we want to leave them with an experience they half engage with and enjoy for a few weeks of time, or do we want to try and take advantage and not leave things on the table in terms of promoting whatever it is we want to promote as institutions, as business, and also as governments with regard to North America? And how can that help us pursue? These people are voters, these people are consumers, constituents, and how do we want them to engage on North America going forward is something we should all be thinking about as well.
Thank you.